car out of the barn. All right? We're going to take it out. We're going to see if it's, well, first of all, if it starts. And then we're going to talk about the thing, too. So in this video, we're going to be taking you through how we turned a barn-find Subaru Forester, the 20-year-old Forester with over 250,000 miles on it, into our own version of a Subaru Forester Wilderness. We're going to go through the whole pulling it out of the barn, replacing head gaskets and checking all the other components, all the accessories on the engine block, the first oil change, radiator replacement, CV axle replacement, sway bar end links replaced, some lights replaced, transmission fluid if I didn't already say that. I think I said the oil already. All those things, we're just going to let those videos play, speed them up a little bit, just so you can see the whole process, even the drive shaft we replaced, of getting this thing back on the road. You guys enjoy. All you have to do is access the head gasket, we think it's this one, that is buried underneath all this shit. So you get to take everything off in here. First, we're going to go ahead and take the cap off the oil, because we're going to drain all of our fluids. Alright, so back at it, day 2. Radiator's out, exhaust manifold's out. This is what we're looking at now. Now to get to these head gaskets, I've confirmed what I have to do is just do whatever I gotta do to take all this shit out of here. So I don't really know exactly where to start, but we're just gonna start hitting up some bolts and detaching things from things. day 3. Here we go. Exhaust manifolds out. Alternator, air conditioning, condensing thing, power steering pump, radiator, air intakes out. All we have to do now, not all we have to do, what we do next is we take the headers out. So it doesn't look like it's too bad. There's bolts on each of them. I think there's 2 on each one, so there's going to be like 8 main bolts total. And then there's a lot of stuff plugged into this. And there's also fuel lines and shit we'll have to take off that way. So I'm going to start by just unplugging what I see. We're going to get those bolts, and we're just going to take this thing off. Alright, so we got the socket. This is a 14mm 12-point for the head bolts on here. You can see I started pulling them out. These are kind of a pain to get at, especially the ones underneath. Need a breaker bar to break them loose, and they don't really come loose once you get them loose, so you have to like keep ratcheting on it. Power tools would be nice, but whatever. So I'll go ahead and I'll take all those head bolts out. Alright, so we're ready to start putting things back together. Hopefully I remember how to do this. This is why we took videos. I'm going to start by cleaning out the cylinders. There isn't much to do there. I'm just going to do like some WD-40, which is what's in there right now. Kind of wipe it around a little bit, let that evaporate, and maybe take a little bit of oil on a rag and just get what's left out there. Not worried about any oil being left over in the cylinders. That's kind of just the way it's supposed to be anyways. See, these are pretty dirty. I'm just going to try to get the dirt out of them. So we're going to start with that. And then I'll also scrub the surface of where the head and where the gasket goes with a wire brush as well to try to get all that junk off too. So today we're going to be installing a 2-inch lift on my 2006 Subaru Forester. This is from Anderson Design and Fabrication. 2 inches in the back and then 2 inches in the front. We're going to be starting with installing the lift in the in the back. These are the rear. we are going to be replacing a CV axle and sway bar end links. We're going to start with the sway bar end links in this video. The CV axle is going to be a separate video, but the first step is going to be, these are the front sway bar end links. So they're right behind these tires on each side. So the first thing we're doing is we are going to first break the lug nuts, get those started. Not all the way off yet, before we even jack up the car, because once those wheels are up in the air, you're never going to be able to break the lug nuts. Alright, so today we are going to be removing the old radiator on my 2006 Forester. This is not the turbo model, just the X base model. The turbo model radiator is slightly different, but almost the exact same. So if you have one of those, this will pretty much be the exact same walkthrough. But we're going to be removing this and then putting in a new one, a complete removal and replacement. And the reason we're removing this radiator today is it is cracked up here. The original solution was to JB weld it. That didn't hold for very long. So we have a crack in here, and you can see it's a little wet at the bottom. It just sprays out little bits of antifreeze as you drive. So antifreeze that sprayed out from this crack. And so we're losing antifreeze all the time. We've got a cracked radiator. Not a good thing to have. So today we're going to be replacing it. Alright, so today we are going to be replacing a taillight on a 2006 Forester. Now if you don't have this exact year model, or at least this generation, that's okay because it's pretty much the exact same simple process for all Foresters with just some slight altercations, but it'll be pretty much a generally same process. In our case, we're going to be replacing this light. However, we are going to be taking this entire thing off. So if you have any of these other lights that are out, the blinker, whatever, brake lights, reverse lights, it all comes off all in one piece, so it shouldn't be too hard. Alright, so today we're going to be replacing a headlight. Now in this car we have this headlight that's out. The other one over here works just fine, which is good because if you're on this side, you have to take the battery out of the way, which is a big pain in the butt. But however, we are on this side, so should be much easier and not take too long here. Alright, to get the brake off, we're going to take this bolt off here at the top, and then there's another one here. This one's a 14, the other one's a 17. There's two on the top that you can see, and then there's two at the bottom that you can't see from here. Alright, so today we're going to be replacing an exhaust gasket. This is the one right before the catalytic converter, I believe. Alright, today we're going to be changing the oil on a 2006 Subaru Forester. Alright, so today we're changing the transmission fluid on a 2006 Forester. Your dipstick for this is going to be that right there. This is on the right hand back side of the engine bay. That's going to be where the dipstick is and where you fill it from. So a nice long skinny funnel is going to be really helpful here. So to get to the cabin air filter, outside of a new air filter, the only thing you need is a Phillips head screwdriver. There's going to be 4 screws along the bottom. There's 1, there's 2, and then there's another right there. And then there's a few screws inside of here. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So I think 9 total. You just have to take all those off, and then the whole like glove box will come out, and you'll be able to get to it from there. Once you have the glove box out, it's just going to be right under this. There's 2 clips on the bottom, and then it slides into 2 grooves up top. So all you have to do is go ahead and pop those both out down there, and then right under here is your air filter. What we did to this thing is we put a 2-inch lift on this thing, and we gave it some real deal tires. All right, come take a look at the tire and acknowledge the gap here we're looking at. So recently Subaru, a few years back, came out with a line of cars, the wilderness cars, and they've done the Forester, they've done the Crosstrek, they've done the Outback, and I think that's where they're at. I don't think they're doing any more, but those are the ones that they made, wilderness. And what they did with the wilderness is they did give them a little bit more clearance. All right, they did lift them. I think it was like an 1.5 inch. It depends on the model. And they gave them Yokohama Geolandars. So we gave ours Yokohama Geolandars and a 2-inch lift. I'm standing in it. Come take a look. Geolandar all-terrains, baby. I believe these to be the Geo15s. G015. Those ones. Excellent tire. Excellent tire. Great for handling on the road. Great for driving on the dirt, in the mud, and in the snow. Never been stuck in the snow. This thing's driven in snow up to the bumper, and it doesn't get stuck. It's amazing, the 4-wheel drive they got on this thing. So, what I'm saying is, if you think the wilderness option for your car is cool, it comes with a whole bunch of other little features too. They might have a different transmission, or at least they program them differently. But if you want a wilderness Subaru, dude, all you gotta do, just lift it and put Yokohamas on it yourself. And then boom, you got it. I wish they still made them that look like this. It's hard to find a new Subaru with a giant line of rust across the bottom, but it really gives it all the character, you know? Take a look at the stance. You know, the stance of this thing. It's what the Forester was meant to look like. It's right here. You're looking at it. Now, another note for you guys. Throughout the summer, we're going to be doing all sorts of shit with this thing. We have another older Outback we're going to be messing with too. We have new Subarus. We have a 2015 WRX we're going to be messing with. If you like the sports cars, we also have a 2015 Mustang EcoBoost we're going to be messing with as well. You should subscribe to this channel because we're doing lots of stuff over the next few months, and we would appreciate it as well. Thank you for watching this one, and good luck out there.